So I'm going to go ahead and start this video with a very interesting problem. This is my USB floppy drive, and this drive has a shield stuck in it. It actually had two. I got one out, but I'm going to have to actually pull it apart to get the other one out. So I find this uncommon problem. This is also the only floppy drive that I have. So I kind of need it to work for the subject of this video, which I'm not even 100% sure is completely plausible yet. But if I try to explain this to you without actually showing it to you, it's just going to be kind of disappointing. I'm going to assume that all of these come out, but it doesn't really look like it. Anyway, let's just take them all out and see what we get. I don't know if this drive still works. It's been in storage for quite a while. With the piece jammed in there, it did recognize and try to read, and it actually did read. It gave me a directory. Hang on. Alright, so I got that off, but I'm still into what I need, but you can see it in there, right around the head, and that just does not want to come out. Maybe I can, oh, nope, there it goes. I might be able to get it now. Alright, so we're back together, and put a disc in. So I'm writing some images. Did not lock destination drive for exclusive access. Why not? What's the problem? A drive, right? Nothing, actually, no. Nothing else is using the A drive. At least it wasn't. Okay, let's just exit that. So anyway, so I use CLZ to catalog my game collection. And that has a feature where you can export your collection to HTML for viewing in a web browser offline. And so I want to use this on Windows 95 as my catalog in the arcade. And the first thing that I need to do to even see if this is feasible is to, how do you like it? Okay, now you like it. Okay. Is to get Internet Explorer onto that PS2 Model 56. Now, if you're wondering why on the bloody earth am I crazy enough to do this stupid idea, it's because my preferred option would be a Dynix system. However, Dynix has no known surviving copies in the wild. My library has gotten rid of all their old stuff a long time ago. I think between the software exclusively being sold to libraries and schools, and the fact that Circe Dynix is still in business today, made it very difficult for any of that software to get into the wild. So today, there's almost no chance of even being able to emulate a Dynix terminal with a custom library catalog. That would be my preferred. If you're typing a comment that, well, you're just an idiot, you should just emulate, use a virtual, duh, wrong, does not work that way. I've spent time earlier today playing around with VirtualBox, and Windows 98 will not install to a modern VirtualBox. It continually throws an error about shell32.dll, blah blah blah, and no matter what I tried, I cannot get it to go. The only way that I could feasibly do it, that I know how to do it, would be to virtualize a Windows 7 and then put Virtual PC 2007 on that and then emulate through there, and that still doesn't even give the feeling of a legitimately vintage PC when you walk into the arcade and see the catalog. So we're going to try it this way. And we're writing the last disc. Now, the other challenge to this is that there are a decent amount of files, 1067 files for 27 megabytes. It's a lot of floppies. I do have space on the computer for it. The first issue is getting everything onto the computer. The second is I don't even know. This looks like pretty basic HTML. I don't even know. I doubt I'll be able to get it to work on something that old simply because of file name limitations. Because I'm pretty sure that just that alone is probably going to be enough to be an illegal file name. But most of these are actually under 8 characters, so, you know, it's like export details, item standard. We'll just go ahead and delete that because honestly I don't think that's something I doubt it's anything that is going to affect our functionality, but these are all under 8 characters. This might work. Okay, so we have our 4 floppies. Let's go see if we can get IE to install. Alright, now if you're wondering why I'm using Internet Explorer, it's because it's the most period correct. I don't really want to mess with Netscape, and I never used Mosaic, so it's not, I have no interest in or knowledge of Mosaic. I wanted to use Internet Explorer 4, but there's not really a feasible way to put a CD-ROM drive in this computer because this has SCSI. And I don't really want to tie my 9535 up with this. I'd rather have that for gaming since that's got IDE and CD drive, and it's basically exactly what this is except more flexible. So, also I don't even know if this floppy drive works, but it does appear to. So I'm going to turn you off and the fan on and update you when this does something. Alright, progress. So install Internet Explorer 3.0. This is I'm going to mostly be using the D disk for this. This does have 2 200 meg SCSI drives in it. I could probably replace the D drive with a CD-ROM, but it's not worth it to me. Just for the fact that I don't even know how easy it would be to find a compatible SCSI CD, and I really don't want to mess with it. So I'd rather just leave it as is. Now this is plan A because this is the easier way to do it. Plan B, you know, I'd have to be looking at custom, and I could just, I'd probably have to HTML code it, which is more time than I really have to spend on it. Usually I just build web pages in Word because it's the easiest, but that adds a lot of extra formatting that I don't think this is going to be able to read. I don't know. Yeah, we're going to find out. I don't really expect this to just work, but if it even like just works enough, then I'll be happy with it. But I don't know. So I'm pretty sure, I don't remember when long file name support started. I don't remember if it was 95 or if it was later. I will want to say 95 had long file name support, but I honestly don't remember. I know 3.1 didn't. It would be really cool to be able to pull this off on Windows 3X, but that's not remotely feasible, at least within the guidelines of what I want to do. I'm just gonna bring it back when this gets done, because it, I don't know, maybe now you want to go. Now you want to go. Okay. 65, 66, now we're starting to move. Obviously, I'm not going to spend the time to copy the whole thing over. We'll do a couple test files. Make sure that it can actually work, and then we'll try running the whole thing over. It's done? Nope, not yet. For reference, this is running a 486 SLC2 at 50 megahertz, 16 megs of RAM, 1 meg of XGA graphics. Alright, reboot. Disk drives are clear. I'm not 100% what to do with the FW900. I don't think it's a monitor problem because it's full screen now. I think it's when once it actually gets into software is where the issues begin. That's not the point of what we're doing here, so I would go with a smaller monitor anyway. And yes, I know Internet Explorer 3 was designed for Windows 3. There was no feasible way to get IE4 on here. Welcome to the internet. This ain't gonna work. Alright, first error. Cannot open home.microsoft.com. I would think not. So let's do myself a little bit of housekeeping here. Homepage. I just not configured the homepage. Let's see. Options. Trying to see this over phone. Let's see. There we go. Use no. Yes. Use that. Use blank. Okay. That will get rid of that error. Alright. So let's go copy some HTMLs to floppies and see what it does. Alright, let's do this. Although actually I think before I do that, so I can have high color at 640 or, okay. Let's just see if it'll even open. It's gonna freak out. copied some images over, so... Oh, it opened. Okay. Let's see if I can find any images. Oh, we did. All right. Okay, so we do have some images here. That's in high color. I don't... This has 1 meg of XGA on it. I don't remember if that's enough to do high color at 1024 or not. But I don't think I'm finding a driver for it, and Windows 95 is not going to know what this monitor is. It's too new. Now, this is not the permanent solution. This is proof of concept to make sure that this even works, which it looks like it will. So I'll keep an eye out for a newer system, probably running Windows 98, that has there's some GDMs, but not what we're looking for. I'm not going to mess with it. Apply. No. Oh, brother. Okay, we'll be back. I uninstalled a part of Office that ran all the time, so we are at 1024 by 768. I played with the monitor a little bit, so I don't understand why it still does that. That's a problem. Runtime error, like we're just now getting an error. That's actually really encouraging. But everything else is here. Okay, so that actually did work. Okay, so I'm going to do another thing here. Let's see. Does this actually make a big difference? Make a lot easier. Because then I can just zip it, split it by floppy, and rock and roll. Installation complete. Okay, cool. WinRAR works. Awesome. I'm going to try recompiling with a little bit smaller thumbnails, and then we'll pick this back up and try again. Well, that's no good. I've tried both zip files and RAR archives, and all I get is gibberish. I cannot open. Apparently I can't close either. Whoa. I can't open them or do anything with them, so try repair. I doubt it's going to do anything. So I did get the recompile down to about 6 megabytes. So we'll just copy everything over manually then. Okay, so I went down a total ADHD rabbit hole with this project last night, and I'm just going to wrap it up real quick because I've gone as far as I'm willing to go for right now. I can do what I want to do. If Internet Explorer 3 will read it, then 4 will read it. The thing that I'm not sure on is getting the guide at the top, the A through Z, to sit properly so it's not going up and down. I tried, so Internet Explorer 5.5 is the last version that was compatible with Windows 95. It's an 85 meg file. I used HJSplit to split it into 62 floppy-based images and got through about 10 and started having read errors with the disk and just finally said, okay, that's enough, we'll forget it. So I'm thinking that if I use Windows 98 and a newer version of IE for it, then it should, I'm hoping, format it properly, but I have no way of testing it until we actually get to that point. So I'm on the lookout for a 98 computer, probably like a Compaq or a Dell from that era. The Enka CRT is going to probably be more difficult to get, so I'll probably go with a small flat screen until I can find that, so that we get kind of that proper feel that I'm going for. But I'm going to call this as good of a success as I can hope for right now, because I can actually do what I want to do. Like I say, I've not had any luck trying to emulate what I want to do using anything other than period correct hardware, so this is just how I'm gonna do it. I may go as new as XP, but that's kind of later than what I'm wanting to. Even XP is getting really hard to find proper drivers for, so I don't want to go that new. I'd rather go with something that I can get a recovery CD for, and that's just kind of what it is. If archive.org has a recovery CD available for the hardware, then I'm interested, because that way I don't have to mess with drivers and all that stuff. I can just go that way. So that's probably how I'm going to do it. I'm not worried about security because it's not going to be on the actual internet. It's just going to be copy the files and go. Since we'll have, if I can get one new enough, USB 1 was available on Windows 98 machines, so kind of looking for that, because then I can use a USB stick, because we're talking like 20 to 30 megabytes of files at maximum. So I can burn a CDRW and copy it over in minutes. So keeping it updated is not that big of a concern. I just have to have a CD drive or a USB. I can't have a floppy only machine. So we'll see what I can find. But that's it for this project. I'm kind of burnt out after going down that rabbit hole. It would have been nice to get IE5 on there, but say that machine's got SCSI, and I'm not going to try to mess with putting a CD in it. So maybe I get around to getting the 9535 going, then maybe we can try it with that one, because that has a CD. But for right now, I'm not worried about it. So thank you for watching, and quite an interesting rabbit hole of what is actually still kind of compatible with some of the older stuff. Again, like I say, I'm not worried about security or anything, because it's not going online. I'm literally just wanting to be able to export my collection catalog and then have it viewable on the same kind of computer that we would have used in the 90s at a library. So that's kind of the gist of the archive. So thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.